Welcome back. We went downtown over the weekend with my wife. Went to the show and the dinner and the whole nine. Drinks before, drinks after, because that's how we like to do it when we can get out of the house away from our son for a few hours. And it just continues to. I continue to find things in my life that just resonate with finding professionals to work with, because as Paige and I did, we go on this date and you kind of rekindle a little bit. You go out, you have some fun, you quit worrying who's going to change the next diaper, which is good. Ultimately you end up in a position where, you find somebody, you rekindle that relationship, you realize why you married them in the first place. And I think with professionals, it can be so similar because you can kind of date a professional in some manner. That doesn't sound right. You can go find somebody you really want to work with, test them out a little bit, and then ultimately find out if they're going to be the right person for you. You can find out if they're willing to educate you. Find out if they're just in it for that sale, for that one quick, just for that quick transaction, or if they're really going to be there for a long-term relationship. Paul Valley joins us, owner of Organized Spaces, who really prides itself in providing the highest quality client experience from design through installation, which really is what we're talking about. I mean, it's that experience. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Hey, Ben. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm glad you had a good weekend.
Yeah, it was really nice. So let's, you work in a customer business where you really do have to make sure they're happy. It's not always just about the space or the closet or the garage you're building for them.
No, it's about the people and what they need and what they're looking for, and the fights they had with their spouse before they called you about this closet or this garage that is unkept and hard to use. So it's really about the people, and then when you select a vendor to work with, whether it's a mortgage broker or a realtor or a roofer or a closet company, it's really about connecting with the person that you're talking to and feeling that they're listening to you, and how do you find that good quality person that you trust that stands up to the marketing that they've been putting out.
Yeah, I mean, that's even something you talked about, the marketing, that the people who are marketing maybe don't have that experience to maintain their customer base.
Yeah, if someone's marketing and you've watched their ads for 10 years and it's just everywhere, well, that money has to come from basically your job. They can't, that money comes from the products that they put into the work that they do. So they can't advertise we're the cheapest and then advertise that constantly, because it's counterintuitive. It can't be so.
Do you think, it's different too, because there's not a lot of people in that construction arena that are really branding. It's not the McDonald's or Coca-Cola ads where you're branding this business. Most of this is people who are just trying to go out and find the next transaction.
Yeah, constantly. Coupons, mailers, discounts, the sale ends through Sunday, that they put the big purple gorilla on the rooftop and expect people to drive in and fill their parking lot.
I tell you, if there is a big purple gorilla on the side of the road, I am stopping.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No way I am missing out. McAllen, my son, would make us. He'd be like, "Oh, monkey."
Yeah, that works for McDonald's, but
it's a whole other story, pink or purple gorillas on roofs. So, when you talked about the home show, a lot of people do market at the home show. They are trying to find those customers. How do you tell as a consumer, especially, in this, you're in this segment of the construction industry or in mortgage or real estate or any of these professions, how do you tell the good from the bad?
Well, there's a couple things. You can look at the last 5 years, and these two guys before me, talked about it hasn't been good for the last 4 years for mortgage people, builders, and realtors. But if they've been in business for long before then and then rode through that time, and they did it with just customer service, customer referrals, their old customers supplying them with new customers, those are the people you want to try and find, because they're not doing with advertising that actually they have to pass on to their next client. They're doing it from just doing a great job with who they've already helped, and that's just the best possible place to find a new builder, a new closet company, and just anyone you want to work with. A referral basically is the key, and where they come from.
Well, and it also seems that not only there's that referral, but now there's a consumer experience that can be shared with a friend or with somebody, which essentially is advertising.
Yeah, you would trust your neighbor, hopefully, or your brother or someone that you work with that if they're going to tell you that, oh, this is who you want to call because they took great care of us, that's better than you grabbing a coupon that says 30% off. Then they have to mark it up 30% just to bring it back down because there's really a price that they want to charge you anyway. So it's just kind of a false sense of the sale mentality, the call to action that they use in the advertising business.
Do you know, I mean, when people go out and let's say they're going to refer your business, they're going to be the personal reference for your business. How do people present your business to their friends and family?
Well, I'm not in the room typically, but what I do like to tell them in advance is that if you tell someone about us, we're going to make you look really good for doing so. We're really going to take care of that person. And so you look like the smartest person in the room for knowing us.
And it seems that you end up by doing a good job and valuing that customer or the referral, you certainly end up with you have much more accountability to that person because it was referred to by your past client than you would somebody who calls in from a coupon. I mean, if you're calling in from a coupon, their biggest deals, they got to try to close you, right? I mean, I would think.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have all the tricks to close. And I walk into a room when I've been referred, and I'm just at ease. I'm calm. I don't try and close you because I know there's already a level of trust and an acceptance that the other guy's got to close you. He's got an hour with you. He's got to get a check, or he's not going to get paid by his boss or whatever. So our salespeople just design and really just low pressure, just do the right job the right way.
And I mean, and that is what ends up really putting you in a position, I think, that you want to be referred. I mean, that's, I talked about again, you end up interacting or engaging some of your past clients. You end up building a business based on referral. And I think as any consumer could really say is, that means you're more prone to give somebody a good experience if you've done it before. I mean, this becomes your life work, is the experience side of that, not the transaction side.
It's all about that. And you used to be able to go to home shows and meet the homeowner, and now, business owner. Now you're meeting some paid professional that's out there just taking names and addresses to try and get leads. You could call it Better Business Bureau, but that's a great way to find who you don't want to deal with. They take complaints, basically. They don't really steer you towards the good ones. So there's ones to avoid, then there's ones that are just in business, and there's good ones. How do you find the good ones? In these ways about referrals and other ways like that maybe professional associations, their goal is to not just give the lead to anybody. Their goal is to make their association look good. So they have a stake in the quality of the referral. So finding ways to really get a referral that's motivated for the right reason is how you want to find somebody. And Angie's List, if you haven't heard of that, those are great referral sources. Yeah,
well, and even going a step further, it's the people who are willing to do some of these things to make sure their business appears good and is good. I mean, we've talked about like being online, and a company should have a nice website. That's basically their storefront. You wouldn't go into a restaurant that had cobwebs out front. You wouldn't go into a restaurant that had roaches crawling across the floor. I mean, people should take some pride in the things that they're doing to build their business.
Yeah, if you just rely on advertising, you're constantly chasing.
Jim's got 64 websites. They must all be pretty good, right? Education.
And those other Jim and James and Ryan, they've been in the businesses I think 20 years each or something like that. They've survived the downturn. Those are quality people, and I think that's one of the aspects you need to consider when you're looking for a new person to do business with.
Yeah,
regardless of the field.
Well, Paul, perfect. You can do my job. We're just going to bring them back in, and let's just continue this conversation about finding someone to work with, cost versus experience, and what people are really looking for. James Stroop and Ryan Leopold are going to join us when we come back. Paul Valley is going to stick around. You're listening to Brashenomics.